Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to discuss about the recurrent neural networks. So, when you see our previous discussions, we have completed the right-hand side part, that is the Hebbian learning half-field networks. Finally, we ended with the deep Boltzmann missions. So, like that, we have completed the deep learning in this area. Now, already we have discussed perceptron learning and feed forward multiple layer networks and back propagation. Now, today we are going to discuss about this recurrent neural networks. So, this is meant for the handling of sequence and temporal data. So, finally, we can conclude with the deep learning possibility with the help of RNN. So, this is the today's discussion. So why recurrent neural networks? Basically, they are designed to learn sequential or time varying patterns. Uh, when the system containing some sequential information, you want to keep that one, then you have to work out with this type of recurrent neural network. So, or whenever time varying patterns, so with respect to time some changes are there, then RNN is best suitable for these two cases. So every day we are working with this type of usage, recurrent neural networks background. When you are searching something, suppose if I type on my chatting box, then I will meet you at the, like that. If I type, then automatically our inbuilt software is giving to like these words: cave, airport, and office. Why? Because based on previous learnings, it can identify what is the sequential possibility. That is the designed to learn sequential. So after this, what are the possibilities it is suggesting? So you can select any one of these things, or you are not interested with these things, you can work out with the new word. So like that, every day we are using this type of algorithms. Even Google also, if you search what is the thing, if you type, immediately it suggests you so many possibilities. Why? Because already it has learned, so that it is suggesting you can use. Most of the time, whatever the suggestions you are getting, we are utilizing. Some few cases we are typing the new words as per our requirement. So this is the one more example of this recurrent neural network. So generally we have seen feed forward neural networks. Now we are calling this is recurrent neural network. What is the difference if you say? So these feed forward networks basically we use for classification, or when you are working with the regression problems, we work out with that one. But whereas recurrent neural network, this is the forecaster. Nothing but if you type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it can easily predict the next possibility is 6. Why? Because this is in sequence. After 5, you will get 6. So that is the considering the sequence. So it suggests you can utilize. So you can produce like that sequence of words. Another important area of this recurrent neural network, if you give one image and it produces a sentence describing its contents. So this is the image, dog basically hiding. So if you give this type of image, then automatically it is going to produce a sentence describing its contents. Nothing but the dog is hiding. So for this identification, we are using CNN, convolution neural networks. But to get this type of sentence, we are working with the RNN. So CNN is able to identify this object, classify this object So whereas your RNN is going to produce a sentence describing its contents. So it is going to suggest you the dog is hiding. So that is nothing but image captioning. You are going to give caption for this image. That is one of the applications of RNN. So how it works? So when you take this image, so first we apply with CNN so that you can identify this object clearly. So whatever may be the object available on the scene. After that we are applying RNN. So basically this is the structure of RNN. So RNN is going to give captioning. So first, based on this object, it is giving the, then next sequence is dog, next is, next is hiding. So according to this one, the dog is hiding. Like that it is going to generate image captioning based on recurrent neural networks. So this is the understanding how we are generating image captioning by using recurrent neural networks. So what are the different possibilities of recurrent neural networks you take? So one possibility is one-to-one. So you give input one, you will get the output one. So this type of network, what you call is vanilla neural network. This is the first fundamental step. So almost it represents like a machine learning. So after that, next possibility is one to many. Here we have seen one to one. So most of machine learning applications we can work out like this, one to one. One to many case, here input is one but output you are getting so many. So nothing but image captioning. We are going to generate sequence of words like that. Suppose a crowd, woman is there with camera, like that holding, like that it is going to generate some sequence of words based on the image. This is the one of the applications of recurrent neural networks, one to many. And next one, many to one. If you take here, you are taking many, output is one. So sentiment classification. So many words are entered, we are going to classify based on that scenario, whether that is angry mood, positive, negative, happy, comfortable, like that we are going to classify sentiment. In that case we are going to apply many to one. Next one, many to many, nothing but machine translation. A sentence in English, you can write a sentence in another language. So that is the one of the applications. We say machine translation, it is going to translate the things. So this is the one of the applications of many to many. Like that, one more application, many to many, if you take video classification on frame level. At each frame we want to classify or make decision if objects exist or not. Suppose you have video is going on, whether some face is there or not, you want to identify. Some human is there or not, you want to identify. Then you can apply this menu to menu application. So automatically it detects that object. So these are various possibilities and uses of recurrent neural networks. So if you see the structure, it is very simple to understand. We take input, we are going to generate output. You have one hidden state. We are taking this feedback, so that when you take input, output, this is hidden state. Anyway, we are taking once again this one. So this will be used for the next time iteration when you are doing. Then this will be helpful for you. So this type of structure, what you say, is the recurrent neural network. Once again we are taking back this one. So that is the basic structure of RNA. That is the why the name recurrent. Due to this, every time we are processing with the help of this one, nothing but if you have a state, hidden state here, ht minus 1 at present state, then next iteration we are using this one. So like that, at every step we are using like that feedback, and that will be utilized when you are processing this x and to generate this y. So only simple structure of RNN. RNN has a hidden state updated with each input x. When you take every input x, that will be updated. This hidden state is updated. So three elements: input x, hidden state, output y. So new state is a function of old state and input. Suppose how do you get this new state here, ht? It depends upon old state, ht minus 1. So anyway, you are taking input to x, that is the input vector at some time step. So on this whole thing you are operating some function. Like earlier case we are saying some like activation function. Like that we are applying some function here on ht minus 1 and xt, nothing but input and that state of that one, so that you will get the new state now, ht. So next time when you are doing ht plus 1, then this ht will come here. Then here it is xt plus 1. Like that we are working with the recurrent neural network. A very simple formula. Updation of, that is the generation of new state depends upon old state, comma input at that moment. So suppose you are doing for ht plus 1, it becomes ht, it becomes xt plus 1. Anyway, some function is applied on that one, you are getting the resultant new state. So hidden state is a single vector if you take h. So here you are taking weightages, and we are saying that the function is tan h. We are operating with weight component of whh, here hidden state, this one, and this x2h, that is the input to hidden state, that weight is x2h, here hh 8. So this weight we are using. So anyway, new state is generated with the help of old state, that is nothing but ht minus 1. So we are taking old state but multiplying it with some weight. Your xt at that moment, your input also multiplied with weight. We say weight of xh. So some function is operated on that whole combination, that is the tan h, here it is taken. So you are getting the new state. Once you get new state, then you are computing the output. You are multiplying with this weight. This is weight is hy. So why. So what is the h value? ht we are taking, so that you are generating output. So this is very simple representation, mathematically you can work out. So only thing, one weight hh, another weight xh, another weight hy. Anyway, to compute the ht, you have to work out with the ht minus 1 as well as xt. Then once you get ht, then you can generate yt by taking that weight why multiplied with this ht, you will get this. So this is the representation of basic vanilla RNN. You take 1 to 1. So when you want to see the details, how you are getting the updated states, nothing but if you begin with H naught initially, suppose if you take zeros initially, then it will be updated to H naught will be updated to H1, H1 will be updated to H2, H2 will be updated to H3. Like that, it will be updated at every instant of time. Respective weights you can utilize here, same way here, here, and here. Anyway, inputs are giving. You can take output as you like. You want many outputs, you can take, or you want only one output, you can take. This is the basic understanding of RNN. What will happen at every iteration? Suppose if it is the many to many, you are taking many inputs as well as many outputs. At every instant, you are taking output. So, many to many case diagram representation. Suppose you want to generate many to one. So, many inputs we are taking. Finally, we are taking only one output after end of this one. Like that, one to many. One input we are taking many outputs like that. You can take. Here this is y1, y2, y3, yt, like that you consider. This is h1 respect to one y1, y2, y3, like that yt you can take. So what is the thing happening here? Whenever you take some characters in English alphabet, H, E, L, O, like that, if you give training, generally whatever the character we are going to represent as a single vector. Suppose H is represented by 1000 here, E is represented by 0100, L is represented by 0010, this L also represented by 0010. So based on this, we are going to observe next character might be O. Like that we are giving training. So when you start giving training, computer can understand only these vectors. That mapping will be there. So immediately it gives O for you. This is the use of recurrent neural networks. The model should predict the next character based on previous characters. Here, man with the hat. So you are going to get that one hat with a help of, initially we work out with CNN. So that we are taking that one here, and that will be utilized. And to get this finally straw and hat, like that sequence of words for this image. So image captioning in action, if you take, if you give this type of image, so it gives a caption for you. Your RNN is going to give caption for this image. A cat is sitting on a tree branch. That one. Here a dog is running in the grass with a frisbee. So with this it is running. A tennis player in action on the court. Two giraffes standing in a grassy field. Like that, it is giving captioning for you. Sometimes this captioning may be failed model also. Why? Because if you see this woman wearing some coat, this coat structure, if you see, that is almost similar to cat. So your captioning now becomes a woman is holding a cat in her hand. Why? Because based on this structure, it is going to predict as a cat. So that is the reason it is going to generate this type of captioning. This is what you say is the failure model. Here, whenever you have a laptop, generally a person can work out with the mouse. So It is giving to give a person holding a computer mouse on a desk, but that is not true. Suppose near beach, you are going to ride on the water by using surfboard. So, but actually here the picture is different. Surfboard structure also looks like that. That's the reason it is giving a caption, a woman standing on a beach holding a surfboard. But that is not the true. Here, this green field and background, something is there. One person is going to hold this ball. Actually, this is the cricket. But what is it is going to generate? A man in a baseball uniform throwing a ball. Failure mode. So, if you give proper training, then you will generate the proper caption for that image. Then why CNN here? Basically, when you want to work out with this, you want to get this H0, we work out with the CNN. So here image to retrieve, to identify this object, CNN plays a vital role. That is the reason we are using CNN. We take features, then it will be utilized as H0. So there, once you get that one, in next iteration, this will be utilized once again. New state also, it is going to contain this bird information. Even other state also, you might have bird information. When you take sequence of images like this, in every case, our interest is to watch this bird, and you are going to generate some captioning for that one. For that, initially we work out with the CNN. So, image captioning with some attention. So, a woman is throwing a frisbee in a park, this one. Our interest is this one, frisbee. Then you are going to work out with this vector. Accordingly, we follow this vector. Here, a dog is hiding. Here, our interest is dog. Then we are interested with that vector. We are highlighting that vector. Like that in the image, you can identify that particular vector. So at each step, you are concentrating only on that vector instead of concentrating on whole image. So with the attention, if you work out, our interest will be on the particular object in the scene. So what is the difference of vanilla RNN and LSTM? This is the long short term memory with adding more features. Later they generated LSTM. Here we have taken only tan H. With respect to weightages we compute the new state by using old state and present that input vector. Here also same WHT minus 1 XT, WHT minus 1 XT, this is same. But here you are taking more functionalities. This sigma we are taking here, and tan H also we are taking, so that you are generating more things like IFOG. Finally, your computation of new state HT depends upon IFOG. So, four things you are considering. When compared this one, this is the better way of handling. You are getting more information with this type of structure. What you say is the long short term memory. So, here IFOG if you take, so first we are operating the sigmoid, nothing but a function on this one. Another function tan H you are getting. So IFOG you are generating. Once you get IFOG, we are taking F. This F vector we are taking. So previous one is CT minus 1. Present one we are computing CT. So this symbol indicates element by element multiplication. When you take one matrix, another matrix, you want to multiply element by element, then we use this symbol. Then we use I and G also. I and G also used. F is used to get CT. Once you get this CT, then O and this tan H CT you are utilizing, so that finally you are getting HT. So this is somewhat better when compared this is the vanilla RNN. So that is the reason we work out with the long short term memory in RNN. What is there in long short term memory in RNN? We take input, you will get output. We are giving as a memory cell output. This memory we are keeping, next time we are taking as input once again. Not only this recurrent structure, this is self-recurrent structure, we are taking even this output as a memory that will be given as the input. This is the basic understanding of LSTM. In the recurrent case, we are working with input and output and this recurrent connection only. But here, even we are working with the memory also. So that is the basic idea of LSTM. So image captioning, if you take, I take this input image, this is given to convolution neural networks. So it extracts feature of this object. Then you take different situations like this. Then your LSTM works on this one at this moment. So it is going to generate a sequence of words like this. Here a bird is identified. Then here it is going to say that flying over a body of, here it is going to identify on water. So a sequence of words are generated with the help of LSTM here. So once you get this type of image, that will be processed. Even video also, if you take, that will be taken as a frame and it will be processed. And LSTM is going to generate this type of word generation. So finally we want to name this image, nothing but a bird flying over a body of water. Why? Because this is water, this is a bird flying. So initially we are starting with a bird, then flying over a water. Like that we are going to generate a caption for this image. So based on, you are working at a different spatial locations. So one spatial location, other spatial location. So based on spatial location, you are generating words. Now what is deep RNN? In a single layer RNN, the output is produced by passing it through a single hidden state, which fails to capture hierarchical structure of a sequence. So when you have hierarchical sequence like that, continuous sequence, if you take only one layer, it may fail to capture all these things. That is the reason we are going for the multiple states. So we say this is the deep RNN. So it gives better performance for you. At every instant it captures some information. So rather than taking and working with single layer RNN, if you take multi-layer RNN, then we say deep RNN, you will get the better performance. That is the reason we are introducing this deep recurrent neural networks. Only thing we are implementing it at several stages like this, instead of single layer. Suppose you take one practical example, even you can do some project on this also, a simple case study. So generating news headlines with recurrent neural networks. So you give test as the input, you are giving test is input, it is going to generate headline is output. So you give one paragraph like that, it is suggesting a headline for you. So you can do as a case study here, as a simple assignment. So what is it? We are giving this type of test. What is the test containing? At least 72 people died, and A truck crowded with pilgrims in Rajasthan on Friday. So police told the press in India. So this has happened in India. 72 people died. A truck with pilgrims. So that is the basic understanding. With this, you have to generate headline. So what is the predicted headline? At least 72 dead in Indian road accident. Like that, your RN is going to generate heading for this one. So actual headline may be truck crashes killing 72 pilgrims in India. This is the actual, I would like to put actual headline. But predicted headline is like that, at least 72 dead in Indian road accident. Like this, by repeated trainings, you can get the better headline for you. Another case, BBC, Russia's president Putin has condemned Turkey's shooting down of a Russian warplane on its border with Syria. Then what is the predicted headline? Putin condemns Turkey's shooting of Russian plane. Actual headline might be Turkey's downing of Russian warplane. So, like that, we can keep some heading. Why? Because throughout the world, several representative of that particular organization, like that BBC, if you take, throughout the world, so many employees are there. Whatever may be the information they collect, that they keep in test form. Then you have to make a news article. Then you have to work out with some headline. So throughout the world, how much information you will get? A vast amount of information you are going to generate. A person cannot sit and he cannot do all 2000, 3000 articles like that going to name the headline. It is not practically possible. Then your recurrent neural network is going to give solution for you. It predict the headlines of all, suppose 2000 test informations you got from various places throughout the world. All 2000, your RNN is going to generate a headline for you. So by seeing that headline where you have to give prominence, you release that those articles. Others, as for the convenience, you can organize these articles. So this is the one of the applications of generating news headlines with RNN. You can do as a simple case study. So as a summary, RNN allow a lot of flexibility in architecture design. Vanilla RNN is simple, but even though it can work well, when compared the other inventions like LSTM and other advanced things, the performance is low. That is the reason we have shifted to LSTM. After a while, we are working with the deep RNN, which captures hierarchical structure of sequence. That is very helpful for you. That is the reason we are moving to deep RNN. This is the overall understanding of RNN. So, for a better understanding, you can refer any article on RNN. So much research is going on this area. So many scholars publishing works on this recurrent neural network. So with this recurrent neural network, we concluded that deep RNN. So that is the way we can execute deep RNN. So this one, deep Boltzmann machines we have discussed, deep RNN we have discussed. Next class we are going to discuss about the convolution neural network. After that, a deep CNN you can work out. So this is the way we can understand deep learning. Thanks for your attention.